Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Stefano. For those of you who already participated in one of our previous webinars, you might remember the sound of my voice, since I'm usually the one hosting every Website X5 English webinar. In case you don't know me, well, that is my name. I'm Stefano. So thank you for joining us today. I hope you can hear me just fine. We've had a little audio problem in the beginning, but it should be fixed now. So if you can just let me know if the sound is all right now, you should have access to the chat function. Just don't be shy and just let me know if you can hear me. We're going to be waiting just a couple of minutes in order to give everyone the chance to join us. Let's see. The voice should be coming through now. Sound okay. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, sorry about the rough start. So yeah, as I was saying, today we're here to be talking about the newest entry in the Website X5 family, which is version 2023.3, which you can already see in the streaming. Probably some of you already had the chance of trying out the new functionalities we're going to be talking about, since this version is currently in the beta phase. So yeah, some of you might have already gotten access to it. So let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about all of the new functionalities, which mainly revolve around the e-commerce section of the software. So yeah, if the sound is okay, I think we can get started now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, sound good. It's okay. I can hear you well. Okay, that's perfect. So I think we can get started. So the first functionality, the first new functionality we're going to be looking at today is the possibility of hiding the purchase button from any e-commerce product. This option was already there in the previous version as far as the product catalog object was concerned, as well as the filter and search page right here, the search page. But now it is actually possible to hide the purchase button from the product page as well. So let's take a quick look at what the product page looks like right now. So this is the product page we've readied for you. This is actually the product page you're going to be getting if you choose to start a new project with this template I'm showing you. This is actually one of the free templates you're going to find included in the software. So if you want to try what I'm trying right now out directly, you should be able to do so. So as you can see here, you've got your price for the product, you got your add to cart button, and the first thing I'm going to show you is that you now have the possibility of hiding this button by going to, let's start from the beginning, moving to step 3, map, then you go to e-commerce product page and you double click right on it, and then you find the option button right here in the elements select field. And you get this little visible button right here that you can just click, launch the preview again, and the button is going to be hidden. So this is actually something that was requested a lot by our community, since we've realized many people were using the e-commerce section of the software not to sell products, which might sound weird at first, but they just want to take advantage of the filters functionality for the search page, or the possibility of having an automatically created page from the software to display a certain product. So let's say if they maybe just want to display their catalog, but they are not really planning on selling what you're seeing on the website, this functionality was done especially for this kind of necessity. So as I mentioned, this was now added onto the product page since it was already available into the search page. So for example, if I go to the search page, you can see that you can do the same right here. You can hide the purchase button, and if I click on preview, You can see that I still get access to my filters, to the search filter, the category filter, but you can no longer put any product inside the cart. And that, of course, is the purpose of this first change. So moving on to one of the bigger changes which is coming to this version, and which is also something that was requested a lot by our community, is the wishlist functionality. So from this version on, your customers will be able to navigate through your e-commerce catalog, and they will also be able to select certain products and just put them aside in their wish list in case they want to complete the purchase at a later time. So all you have to do to enable the wish list, which is right here, you can double click on it and you can customize the aspect of the product cards on the wish list page as well. All you have to do is navigate to any page which offers the possibility of purchasing a product. Like, let's take the search page, for example. Then you go to settings, you go right here and you select wish list. And just like the buy button before, you have the visible option here, which is enable or disable. You can see that this little heart-shaped icon appears at the bottom here. So if I click on preview, this is what you will be getting. You will be getting your product cards with this little icon right here. When it's filled, of course, this means that the product was already inserted inside your wish list. If it's empty, you still have the possibility of adding the product to the wish list. So for example, let's try adding this one. Now we've added this to the wish list. So now if we move back to the menu and go to the My Wishes page, which is essentially the wish list page, you can see that we got the product I added just now. This right here, you get this short message, and from here you have the possibility of adding the product you saved for later and add them into your cart. So this option actually can work in two different ways. If your website is making use of a database, the wish list will be brought along with your user, assuming, of course, you've logged into the website from any browser you decide to log in, because thanks to the website, it doesn't matter what computer you log on from, you are going to be finding your wish list already configured in your account. If you are not using an account, so if your customer did not register on the website, or perhaps your website does not make use of a database, the wishlist will still work, but only locally. So this means as long as the user is always logging in from the same computer and using the same browser, the wishlist will be saved. If not, of course, they will have to rebuild the wishlist or log in into their account. So the wishlist button can be enabled for the search page, just like I mentioned before, but it can also be enabled for any product catalog object. Let's see right here if I can find one. Let's say, for example, right here, I'm going to add a row right here. No, let me add this somewhere else. Let's add it on the home page. I can add a product catalog object right here. I can select any number of products and then enable the wish list as well. You can see that the products appear right here, and you can now add or remove them from the wish list as well. Let me just remove this now so we can restore the previous look of the template. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is basically how the wish list works and how you can make use of that. Remember, you have two different ways the wish list can work according to whether you have a database enabled on your website or in case that you don't. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is the product page, because if you've been using the previous version of Website 5, of course you remember that most of the product page comes pre-made out of the box. So you don't really have much control over, you didn't used to have much control over what the product page looked like, but from now this is no longer the case. Just like you can enable um, the wish list icon or the purchase button, you can now also change the style for the name or the title of the product, for the description. You can change what details you want to show on the website or what you want to hide. So for example, if we launch the preview right now, you can see that this product looks like this. And now I'm just going to be searching for the same product online. Okay, you can see that, for example, on our online website, which is the same template, we just uploaded it online so I can show you some of the functionalities later. You can see that the button here is still present. And now I can also change the style for the title. For example, right here, let's see, maybe I want to set it as bold and I want to change the font to something else. You can see that it changes immediately to what you configured. This was not possible before. So you get a little more customization for your product pages compared to what you could get in the previous version. Yeah, again, it's not limited to the name, again, to the description as well, to the details, to the product line. You can hide the quantity field, you can hide the availability if you want to. You can, in general, you can just customize the product sheet a little more in depth. Okay, so this is enough of the product page. Let's move on to the next new feature, which is the possibility of applying discounts to your orders based on the total amount of the order itself. So let's move on to step number 1, settings. Then we move on to shopping cart. And then we go straight to the options right here. You can see that you now get access to this one option, which is activate discount on order total, which is already configured in a way. Let's open this up. You can see that we've configured a 5% discount on any order should the total of the order come up as higher or equal to 100 euros, dollars, or whatever. And then it goes up to 10% if the order is higher than 200 euros, dollar. Of course, you have other kinds of customization you can apply to these discounts as well. Like you could apply these only with a specific coupon code. You can have a fixed discount instead of a percentage one. You can enable this discount only for a limited time. And you can also decide whether to include the shipping and payment cost into the discount, or if you want that to be calculated after, so only apply the discount on the actual price of the product that the user is going to be purchasing. Okay, so that being said, let's remain in this section, but move over to the ordered management part of the e-commerce section. So now we're going to be looking at one of the functionalities which was probably maybe one of the most requested we've ever had regarding the e-commerce, which is the possibility of limiting shipping methods as well as payment methods to only certain countries. So let's say my e-commerce is located in Italy, but I still want to be able to ship in Germany as well. It's very likely that I'm going to be offering some kind of courier that is only available in Italy, but I might be offering a shipping method which is related to a certain courier that is only available in Germany instead. So now I have the chance of deciding what kind of shipping methods, as well as what kind of payment methods to display according to the country that the user wants their products to be shipped to. So you can see right here we have a couple of shipping configured already. If we take a look at the first one, you can see that this shipping method will only be displayed if you enter either Italy or San Marino as your country. And then you have another one, which is essentially listing all of the other countries. At the moment, we did not configure this for most payment methods, only for the middle one. But I can just show you what this looks like once it's configured right. So let's try and make some kind of order. I'm just going to be enabling the purchase button again. So visible. Now let's go back here. I would just like to remind you that should you want to watch the entire webinar again, because maybe you missed some parts, or maybe you just want to re-watch to better understand what was discussed during the webinar. As always, this webinar will be available to you to watch at any time on our official Inco Media channel on YouTube. So yeah, you get that chance later. Don't worry if you miss any part, if maybe you don't understand exactly what is going on. You will be able to ask questions later, as well as rewatch the entire thing at a later time. So yeah, let's move over to the e-commerce. Then I'm going to be adding any product to my cart. Okay, let's remove this and keep only this one. Okay, so you can see that the shipping price is now set at 5. Right here, I can insert my data. Now I'm going to select Italy as a country. And then click next. You can see that I got the first option as the only shipping method available. Since this shipping method is configured to appear if I've selected Italy as the country where I want my products to be shipped to. Any other country would have ended up showing me the other shipping method instead. I'm just going to show you. Let's go back here and then change Italy to whatever else. And then click on next. You can see that now we get the international shipping, which is the other shipping method we configured. The same happened with the payment methods, because the middle payment method right here is supposed to only be displayed if Italy is selected. And as you can see, it's not appearing here. So we're hoping this new functionality gives you the chance to better handle the orders you're receiving, so your users no longer have to guess exactly what kind of shipping method is actually available to them, as well as payment method. Now they can just worry about choosing the product they want to purchase, and the entire shipping and payment method selection step is going to be much easier to complete, with much less chance for your users to make a mistake and select a shipping method or a payment method which is actually not available to the country they're currently living in. Okay, so let's see. I think this should be all about the shipping things. So now let's move on to another feature that was just added in this version, which is payment reminders. I'm going to have to drag this window over here and show you the actual online website so you can see how this works. So essentially, when we're talking about payment reminders, what we mean is this. Right now with the software, let's say your customer enters your e-commerce, makes a purchase, but before completing the checkout procedure and actually paying for the stuff he's attempting to buy, he just shuts down his browser. So at this point, the only thing he can actually do is either contact you so you can send him like a payment link or something like that, or he mandatorily has to make the entire order over again. So now this is no longer the case with payment reminders, because you can just enter the admin section of your website right here. You can go to the e-commerce cart section. You can see that we have a couple of orders already configured here. And now you should have access to this little icon right here, which says send payment reminder. So what this does essentially is automatically send an email to the email address that the user entered in order to receive all the information, all of the updates regarding their order. With this option, they're going to be receiving an email, which of course simply reminds them that the order has been made but has not yet been paid for. You can send any number of payment reminders you want. This icon is actually going to keep track of how many payment reminders you've sent. So if you click here 1, 2, 3, 4 times, when you hover on the icon with the mouse, it's going to tell you how many payment reminder you've sent to this user already. So you can decide when to stop, if you still want to keep going and keep reminding the user that he still has to pay, or if you just want to cancel the order, you can just cancel it normally like you would before. So it is no longer necessary in case you have an order which has not been paid for. Before you had to go into the order, search for the user email, and then manually message him to ask him to complete the purchase. Yeah, now this is no longer the case. This is all very automatic, very easy to use. Yeah, I think that is about it. Okay, so that being said, I think we can move on to the latest addition to the software, which are notifications. It might actually be wrong to call them new addition because, of course, notifications were there before as well. But it actually works a little bit different compared to before. So if you remember, before we had this official application that you could install onto your phones, which is Website X5 Manager, which used to be here, which basically allowed you to download this application onto your phone. And then via your login information, your credentials, you can enter the administration section of the website where you could handle orders, where you could handle users, where you could handle blog comments and stuff like that. Since this new version, it will no longer be necessary to download any separate app to be able to do this, but you can do this straight from the browser with a specific way I'm going to be showing you now. So unfortunately, I am not really able to show you how to do this with your phone. Just be mindful that the procedure is exactly the same. And we also have a guide ready for you to read, which I'm going to be showing you where you can find that later. So you know how to configure the system onto your phone. But the system actually also works with your browser on your computer. So let's see how that works right here, right now. So you can go to the website management section right here. You can see that you get this setting right here that says enable push notifications, which is enabled right now. This is going to require you to use a database because push notifications in our case cannot work if you don't have a database enabled. So once you enable this option and upload your website online, you're going to be getting this, the notifications section, where you can just click. Um, Actually, notifications are already enabled on this website. Usually, if this is the first time that you're enabling this, you won't be seeing these options. You will be seeing just a big button that says enable notifications. And after you click on that, you're going to be getting these options. So this is essentially what allows you to choose what you would like to receive a notification for. This could be e-commerce. So for example, when a new order is made, low product stock, so when your products reach a certain minimum limit that you've configured into the software. You can see, you can get the notification when a new comment is added on the blog or to any product, as well as any page, I'm sorry, as well as onto any page. And you can also receive a notification where new users register onto your website. You just select the ones you want to see and then click on save. So once that is done, all you have to do is wait. and you will see that notifications start arriving directly into your browser. So let's see right here. I'm going to show you an example. We're going to be making a test order for this. So I just go into the e-commerce and I add a product to my cart. Then I complete this order. And you can see that this notification just appeared right here. Um, the notification that appeared before actually just said that I couldn't show the notification since I'm streaming, but this is the kind of notification you're going to be getting. So new order, with the order number, you got a new order. So all you have to do is click onto the notification and you will automatically be brought onto the order details so that you can check it. This works the same for your phone. So if you go into the notification section, like I mentioned before, you can click on this link right here. And you can see that our official guide will open up immediately. This is in Italian, of course, you can just change the language to English. And this contains the entire explanation I just gave to you, essentially, as well as the instructions on how to install this sort of application, which isn't really an application, to your Android phone or to your iPhone phone. Again, a very, very easy way to get notifications immediately without having to install any other piece of software onto your phone. Okay, so I think this is about it for the features which are strictly included into the newest version. But there is still one thing I would like to show you because I believe this is actually pretty cool. So I'm going to be showing you pretty quickly a new optional object we've created for the software, which allows you to display one of those 360 images, so very popular these days, which can be used for showing like the interiors of a house, of a store, like in our example right here. If we go to the About page, we got this link over here. If you just click on this, you're going to be getting this view right here. So you can see that you have this 360 photo that you can operate, give your users a chance to look around. This is especially useful, of course, for those kind of activities which, for example, need to show maybe a room for the hotel, or maybe, yeah, mostly hotels or houses or stuff like that. Or in this case, we've actually prepared a mock-up photo of a store, which of course fits the topic of our template. This object will be available to purchase shortly with the newest version of the software. What's important to know here is that this object will work for older versions of the software as well, but they will not. I'm sorry, it will not work in the preview of the software for older versions. The newest version of the software allows you to check the preview into the software's preview as well. The older versions of the software won't be able to do this. You will just be seeing a static image. But don't worry, once you upload your website online, or if you check the preview of this object via an external browser, it's still going to work. Okay, so actually, I think that is about it for the main new functionalities of this newest version. So right now, I would love to hear from you if you have any kind of questions, if maybe anything that I explained now wasn't really that clear to you, maybe you want some further clarification on anything of the topics I just talked about. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes, see if you have any such questions. Feel free to write them in the chat so I can see them. Okay, I can see that you're asking when will the new version be available. Oh, I can also see one of my colleagues already replied to you. Yeah, the newest version will most likely be released next week. But again, if you have the pro version and you're part of our beta program, you can try all of these new functionalities right now already. Let's see. Well, I'm not seeing any new question pop up. That could either be because I was extremely clear in everything I explained, I hope. Of course, if you can't really think of any question right now, but if you have any doubt or any issue, any further questions at a later time, keep in mind that you can contact me or my colleagues on our official help center or via email or via phone. Of course, we will always be there available in case you are encountering difficulties or if you want further clarification on anything that the new version is featuring. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing any further questions. Okay, so I guess this is gonna be it. Okay, again, thank you for joining me today for this webinar. Again, if you have any questions, contact us to our help center, phone number, email. We will be glad to help you solve whatever issue or doubt you might have. Thank you again for joining us today, and I wish you a good day.